Okay, we're good to go. Now, late arrivals, we won't be taking any more introductions at this time, so just go ahead and have yourself a seat in the front row. Make sure you have a pen and paper handy. You're going to want to take good notes. Get yourself to a quiet area. This is very important. You want to turn off your TVs, your radios. If you have any noise or distractions or conversations in your background, move yourself to a quiet space. You definitely want to make sure you can give the information you're about to receive your very full and your undivided attention. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're excited right now because you know you're the right people, you're in the right place, and you are here at the right time. We're going to share a system with you that's so simple and is so powerful that it can literally change your life in days. Yes, you heard me correctly there. I did say days. Could your life use some changing in just a matter of days? Now, let me ask you this. Have you really considered what amount of money would be life-changing for you? Well, here's what I want you to do. In the top right-hand corner of your page, write down the amount of cash you want to receive on a monthly basis. Now's the time to think big, so don't just write any number. Make sure your amount is life-changing for you. Would that be an extra $500 per month? Well, if that's the case, you're on the right call. Or maybe you're looking for thousands of dollars each week. Folks, there is something here for you, regardless of your current financial situation. Whether you're looking for $500, $5,000, or $15,000 a month, pay very close attention here today because this can be your reality. Have you got your number yet? Okay, with that, I believe we're ready to begin. Ladies and gentlemen, we're at the top of the hour. I know that you're ready. We've asked one of our members, Susan from Toronto, to tell you about this life-changing system. Susan, come on out and share the good news.
You bet, Teresa. Thank you for such a warm welcome. And hello, ladies and gentlemen. I want to congratulate you on taking this step towards a better financial future. More money, more time, more freedom. That's the bottom line, isn't it? You see, I don't know what brought you here, but the fact that you're listening right now tells me that maybe your personal financial situation is not where you'd like it to be. And I'm here to tell you there is a better way, a proven way to generate thousands of dollars monthly and weekly with very part-time effort and with the help of done-for-you systems and state-of-the-art tools. Wait until you hear the results people are having using a system that has nothing to do with MLM, network marketing, pills, powders, potions, or lotions. And this is not a solicitation to buy, sell, or make an investment. In fact, this is unlike anything you've ever heard or even tried before. But you know, you must be willing to change the way you think about your finances if you expect to develop any real wealth in your life. I'm going to show you how our members have done just that and how they're ordinary people, just like you, using this system and achieving extraordinary results. Be sure you're in a quiet area and that you have pen and paper handy to draw out these powerful financial principles. When you do, it will be crystal clear. Now, before we move on, I need to ask you this question. If I could offer you a system that finds all the people for you, eliminates all selling, all meetings, and all presentations, and brings thousands of dollars into your household without having to interfere with your current commitments to your family, job, business, or career, if I could show you that system, would it be worth just 25 minutes of your time to learn about it? If your answer is yes, keep listening. Let me remind you that this has nothing to do with multi-level or network marketing. There are no meetings to attend. There's no buying or selling for you to do, and you'll never have to chase your friends and family. You see, in today's economy, countless people are searching for a genuine, proven cash flow solution. And we have multiple free methods in place for you to find them and direct them to hear this information. We do all the explaining on your behalf. So as I said, this doesn't have to interfere with your job, business, or any other opportunity you're currently involved with. On the other hand, maybe you've been seeking a completely new source of cash flow to replace what you're doing. If that's true, then this is that change you've been looking for. You see, thousands of people around the world have heard this information to find at least one person who wants to increase their cash flow. And by finding that one person, they now are receiving thousands of dollars daily into their household. Now, if you're wondering if this is suited to you, let me tell you, anyone can do this. You don't need any experience. We have all the tools in place to help you, including daily live support to help ensure your success. Our members include financial advisors, retired seniors, executives, stay-at-home moms and dads, business owners, college students, medical professionals, truck drivers, people with disabilities. The list goes on. And here's a sample of some of their results.
Came to this call approximately 2 years ago. It's actually been about 26 months. When I first heard the information, it made sense. I was in real estate, and I don't need to explain what happened in real estate. We were looking for something serious, something to make some cash now. I'm just so honored to be a member here. I'm so thankful. I mean, this program right here has released the pressure from us. We've been able to start our nonprofit organization, been able to donate more to our church, been able to reach out and throw this lifeline to many, many people. I've had many $3,500 days, $1,000 days, $500 days. My best day so far, cash-wise, $7,000. And on top of that, we've just been able to help people and bless people. I'm so thankful. God bless you.
When I came to this call 4 years ago, I had no previous home-based experience. I'm a former corporate America professional, and I just had a job mentality. And I tell you, I was just tired of just getting by, never getting ahead. I'm a single mom, and it was just time to take action. And I tell you, I went to all the training calls, and you guys are here every day. The empowerment, the leadership gave me the tools to be able to have many $3,500 days, $5,000 weeks. I've been able to generate as much as $7K in a single day and as much as $11,000 in a single week. I never did that in corporate America in over 20 years, and I just love that I can do it right from the comfort of my home, on my own terms, on my own schedule, and the fact that if I can do it, anybody can do it.
We were fortunate enough to listen to one of these powerful calls, and thank God we joined this program a little over 4 years ago. At the time, I had been an accountant and registered financial advisor for about 29 years. Our best day so far has been $4,500. Our best week so far has been $8,500. We are absolutely here to stay because there's nothing that we know of that's better that we can share with anyone out there.
I want to thank everyone for sharing with us. Folks, with this system, our members are using some of the most powerful financial principles in the world, the same principles that the wealthy have used to build wealth and to protect their wealth for generations. And now it's available to you. Our worldwide organization was established around the turn of the century, yet you listening today have the same opportunity to receive wealth as the people who joined years ago. This truly is a fair and level playing field. Now take a look at that desired monthly cash flow that you wrote at the top of your page. What do you plan to do with that money? You see, this is a proven way to get out of debt, save homes from foreclosure, and enjoy more luxury vacations. Aren't you ready to live a prosperous cash and carry life? You can make your own list of possibilities here, but the bottom line is having more free time and more money creates a whole lot of freedom and lifestyle choices that you may not have even thought were possible. So let's show you the money. When you register on our website and get started, you'll get an inviter's code and become part of the team. Then plug into the multiple resources available to you. You see, we have systems already in place, like your own revolutionary automated voicemail system that finds and filters all the people for you. We aren't going to tell you all of our secrets on this call, but by plugging into our daily live support and online tools, you will learn how you can increase your cash flow right out of the gate. Now, let's draw this out because the financial solution you're looking for is going to appear on your page. In the top left corner of your page, write your first name and then draw a bold line underneath it. Directly below your name, down the left side of your page, skip down about an inch and list these numbers in a straight line from top to bottom. Write the numbers 1 through 10. So write 1, and underneath that, write 2, then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Do you have that? Great. Now, just above the number 1 there in the space that you left, write these words. Receiving line number 1. Next, across the top of your page, next to your name, write these amounts from left to right. $500, $1,000, $2,000, and then write total $3,500. These are your receiving options. You can receive cash flow at any one of these amounts or any combination up to $3,500. That's right. If you choose all 3 receiving options, you can receive all of these amounts. So why don't you go ahead right now and put a star next to the amounts you want to receive? Choose the combination that best suits your financial goals. Most members choose all 3 amounts for that total of $3,500. So So if you want, put a star next to all of these amounts. It's your choice. Know that there is something here for you, and any place is a great place to start. Now, the first thing you need to see is that your system only needs to find one person for your receiving line in order for you to start receiving cash flow. The second thing I want you to see is that all of the cash flows directly to you within 24 to 48 hours, typically by overnight courier. So let's walk through an example of just how this time-tested and proven system can work for you. On the left-hand side of your page, beside the number 1, write the name Alan. Alan is one of the many people your system will find for you who's looking for a way to increase his cash flow. He listens to this information and then calls you back. You give Alan your inviter's code and send him to the website. Alan joins online, and the database places Alan on your receiving line number 1. Now listen closely, because here's the power of this system. All the cash that is generated here flows directly from person to person. There is no middleman, no trickle up, no company paying you a commission. So to get started, Alan chooses all 3 receiving options and immediately sends 100% of his pledge to you. I did say 100%. You just had $3,500 cash delivered to your door. Now, will $3,500 in the next 24 to 48 hours make a difference in you and your family's lives? Of course it will. That's cash you can take to the grocery store, enjoy a nice dinner out with your family, or pay cash for a second car. Why not pay off one of those debts that have been hanging over your head, or take your loved ones on a 5-star getaway? So let's write $3,500 to the right of Alan's name. Now, Alan plugs into this system and finds Bob, who listens to this information. Bob loves what he hears and calls Alan back right away. Alan gives Bob his inviter's code and sends him to the website. Bob joins online, and the database places Bob on your receiving line. So beside the number 2, write the name Bob. Bob also chooses all 3 receiving options, and so to get started, Bob immediately sends his pledge to you, another $3,500 cash delivered to your door. Now listen carefully, because here is the one-up qualifier explained. Since Bob joined with Alan's inviter's code, the database placed Bob on your receiving line as Alan's one-up qualifier and gave Bob to you. Now, this is great news for both you and Alan, because by finding his first person, Alan is now qualified forever to start receiving cash flow, and the database allows Alan to break away and start his own receiving line number 1. This one-up qualifier process that you're drawing out will now work the exact same way for Alan. And guess what? Bob stays right there with you on your receiving line as Alan's replacement. So next to Alan's name, write the letter Q. That Q stands for qualified. And just to the right of Bob's name, write $3,500. Remember I said that your system only needs to find one person on your receiving line for you to start receiving cash, and that all of the cash is going to come directly to you? Well, your system has found only one person for your receiving line, and that's Alan. Yet you have received $7,000 cash. So there you go. But we're just beginning. Now Bob plugs into this system and finds Cindy, who listens to this information. Cindy says yes and joins online. And because Cindy is Bob's one-up qualifier, the database places Cindy on your receiving line. So next to the number 3, write the name Cindy. Now to get started, what does Cindy do? That's right. Cindy immediately sends her pledge to you. Another $3,500 cash delivered to your door. Now, Bob has just qualified forever, and the software allows Bob to break away and start his own receiving line number 1. Just like you've qualified, just like Alan qualified, Bob is now qualified forever. And Cindy stays right there on your receiving line as Bob's replacement. So next to Bob's name, let's write the letter Q for qualified. And to the right of Cindy, let's write $3,500. Now Cindy plugs into the system and finds Dan, who listens to this information. Just like Cindy did, Dan says yes and joins online. And because Dan is Cindy's one-up qualifier, the database places Dan in your receiving line. So right below Cindy's name, next to the number 4, write the name Dan. To get started, Dan immediately sends his pledge to you. Another $3,500 cash delivered to your door. Now Cindy just qualified forever, and the software allows her to break away and start her own receiving line number 1. However, Dan stays right there with you as Cindy's replacement. So next to Cindy, let's write the letter Q for qualified, and let's write $3,500 next to Dan's name. Okay, this is simple to understand, so let's review. Each new member that you invite qualifies by doing two things. Number one, they give you a one-time cash pledge. And number two, they provide you a one-up qualifier as their replacement. Let's look at Alan. He gave you a $3,500 pledge and his one-up qualifier, Bob, as his replacement. Then Bob gave you a $3,500 pledge and his one-up qualifier, Cindy, as his replacement. Then Cindy gave you a $3,500 pledge and her one-up qualifier, Dan, as her replacement. This is what's called perpetual leverage. And perpetual leverage is one of the most powerful financial principles in the world. It's working for you 24/7, and receiving line number 1 is now on automatic pilot. Notice Alan, Bob, and Cindy are qualified forever. However, Dan is not qualified yet and stays on your receiving line until he gives you his one-up qualifier as his replacement. Perpetual leverage means that this process goes on and on to infinity. Did you get that? So next to the number 5, write $3,500. Next to the number 6, write $3,500. Next to the number 7, write $3,500. Next to the number 8, write $3,500. At number 9 there, write $3,500. And beside number 10, go ahead and write $3,500. Are you with me? Great. Now, on the same line as number 10, I want you to write $35,000 because that's what 10 times $3,500 equals. And that's only the beginning of the kind of cash that you can receive. We'll stop at 10 for this example. But remember, this process continues on and on without limits. Perpetual leverage working for you 24/7, delivering cash to your door. Now I have a question for you. How many people has your system found for you? That's right, just one person, and that was Alan. Now listen carefully as I explain another powerful financial principle at work for you, and that's compound leverage. This is where it gets amazing. Each new person that your system finds for you starts a brand new receiving line and compounds your cash flow. So near the top of your page, straight across from where you wrote receiving line number 1, skip over to the right a couple of inches and write receiving line number 2. Directly below that, write the name John. While Bob, Cindy, and Dan are sending you their pledges, your system has found John for you. John joins online and sends you his pledge, $3,500 cash to your door. And John must also provide you his one-up qualifier as his replacement. The principle of perpetual leverage that is working in receiving line number 1 will now start working with John in receiving line number 2. There it is, perpetual leverage and compound leverage working together for you on autopilot 24/7 without limits. Now, you can fill in the numbers and dollar amounts and do the math later, but here's the point. You apply this principle of compound leverage by letting me offer your guests the use of our many tools, so they too can generate thousands of dollars for their family with perfect duplication, and that's how you start multiple receiving lines and have cash delivered to your door daily. So think about this. How many receiving lines do you want on automatic pilot, creating infinite cash flow for you and your family? Do you want 10, 20, 30, 40? There is no limit, and it's easy to do. We do all the explaining on your behalf, and we'll show you how to find and direct the right people to hear this information. Because in today's economy, everyone is looking for a genuine system and opportunity that delivers thousands of dollars to their door. And notice that this does not require thousands or even hundreds of people to make a real difference for you, unlike some of those other home-based opportunities. Look what you've received with just one person, Alan, on your receiving line. Just imagine finding one person a week. That's 50 receiving lines in the next year. And a lot of our members are finding more than one person a day. And best of all, you can do this part-time, full-time, or in your spare time. And that's why you can be just 24 to 48 hours from receiving thousands of dollars for you and your family's needs. Let me ask you a question and be honest with yourself. Has anyone ever offered you the use of a system that has generated millions of dollars fairly for its members? a system that finds and filters all the people for you, explains everything for you professionally, offers state-of-the-art tools to everyone you invite, and then to top it all off, delivers 100% of the cash to you? Well, have they? Now that's a pretty good deal, so step back and see this through the eyes of every person that hears this information, like Alan, Bob, Cindy, Dan, and John, because when they do, they will have found the financial solution they've been searching for. And if you start thinking outside of the box and take action, you will get out from under the pressure of being in debt and living from paycheck to paycheck. Look at the top of your page where you wrote your receiving options. Which ones did you put a star beside? If you're like most of our members, you'll want to receive the $3,500 amount. And with a one-time pledge of $3,500, you will receive 100% of all the cash flow from every person on all of your receiving lines, up to a maximum of, oh, that's right, there are no limits. Now, if you choose one of the other amounts, you will want to upgrade as soon as possible to prevent roll-up. And here's what roll-up is. Let's say that you get started today with the $500 and $1,000 amounts. Then Alan starts with a $3,500 pledge, and the tracking software tells Alan to send the $500 and $1,000 portions directly to you, because those are the amounts you pledged, and it's the maximum amount that you can receive from each person on your receiving line until you upgrade. But what happens to the other $2,000? You see, the software automatically seeks out the first person above you that pledged at the $3,500 amount, and the $2,000 portion will roll up to them until you upgrade. Now, maybe you're thinking, how can I do this? I'm broke. Well, if finding the money to get started is a concern, this is not something you don't do just because you don't have the money laying around. Many of our members borrowed the money to get started. I'm going to show you how you can start with as little as $500 and leverage your way to $3,500 in a very short period of time. But first, let's hear how some of our members went from flat broke to wealthy and turned their situations around.
Like most people that hear this call, I was flat broke. I say I was broke, broker, and brokest. 6 years ago, I heard this call. At that point, I had tried other home-based businesses, other activities, and I had no success. I just went broker and broker and broker. I needed something that worked. I needed it immediately. I had $29 and some change, no open space on any credit cards. I was overdrawn. I mean, it was horrible. I knew that this is what I wanted to do when I heard the call. I just didn't know how I was going to do it. So what did I do? I put a sign up to have a yard sale. I didn't have a car. My car was repossessed at that point. It was a nightmare. So I had a yard sale. I started selling stuff, came up with the cash that way, sent it off, and oh, wow. I have not looked back. This program has allowed me to do things that I never thought would be possible as a single parent. I get to stay home with my kids. I get to be here when they get off the bus. We travel. We've been to Europe a few times. Actually, we travel the country. We have family scattered everywhere. I volunteer. I do all kinds of things that I couldn't do when I worked in the corporate world. My best week has been $17,000. I've had several $7,000 days. I wouldn't want to be doing anything else. The inspirational family we have here, the camaraderie, I just can't even tell you how great it is.
I had been a massage therapist for 30 years. Arthritis did away with that option. I had I worked really hard, 12 hours a day to build up a multi-level marketing business, got it up to $7,000 a month and thought that I was really heading in the right direction. And September 11 basically just sort of cut that off at the knees. It started a downhill slide that no matter how hard I worked, I couldn't stop it. So by the time I came to this call, $7,000 had become about $70 a month. So that's obviously not enough to live on. I was ill. I had just gone through a divorce. I mean, what else could be wrong? There were other things wrong, but I'll stop there. I got on the call. I had $12. Somebody said, get on this call. I go, what is it about? They said it's about getting out of debt. I go, I'll get on, because I was also drowning in debt. Halfway through, I decided I was going to do it. It was the miracle that I'd been looking for. I did not want to start another business. I didn't have the heart for that. And so I had to get really creative. I decided to come in at all three levels because I knew I wasn't going to mess around. I didn't want any money rolling by me because I needed all of it. And somebody who owed me money from many years ago, I never thought I'd see a dime. A check showed up in the mail that took care of part of it, and I got a car title loan for the rest. And that was the beginning. I just, I simply get on the phone. I extend this invitation to people. I let them make up their own mind. I don't have to sell anything. I don't have to explain, and I don't have to convince. I have been doing it long enough where I've noticed that when I am faithful and consistently doing my part, which is 15 hours a week, I simply call people back and invite them to listen to the information like I did. That brings them between 4,000 and 8,000 a week. And I'm so grateful. I get to hang out with an incredibly positive group of people. And that is just, the mindset of this group of people is just something I love to connect with every day, which I do on our live training calls, which happen 6 days a week. So I think that I really lucked out, and I'm really grateful. And thank you so much for letting me share. I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you once again. Those are pretty incredible results. And now I'd like to show you another proven strategy that has worked for thousands of people. Here's what you do. Get started immediately and position yourself in front of as much of the money as possible. Let's say that's $500 or $1,500, a combination of the $500 and $1,000 amounts. You then plug into our resources and start generating cash. Then take some of the money that you receive and upgrade as soon as you can to that $3,500 amount. And you're there forever, receiving 100% of the cash. It's just that simple. Members from all over the world are joining this private system every day because they understand that giving opens the door to receiving, that we're not salespeople, and that this activity is all about people helping people. They know that they are paying it forward by leveraging their cash with a one-time pledge, expecting nothing in return from their inviter or this program, and that anything they receive will be from their own efforts as they share this life-changing system with others. Now, before we finish, find some open space on your page, maybe to the right or at the bottom, and list the numbers 1 through 5. You got it. Write the number 1, then under that, write 2, then 3, 4, and 5. We'll use this space to recap the 5 key points that you will probably lose sleep over tonight. And here they are. Next to the number 1, write the words, give once, receive forever. Your joining pledge is a once-in-a-lifetime action. Not once a month, not once a year. It's one time only. In fact, it allows you to create a wealth-building legacy that will last for generations to come. At number 2, write, I get 100%, because after your first joining member, you do receive 100% of the cash at all of the amounts you choose to pledge. At number 3, write the words, big money with no limits. Where else can you receive $500 to $3,500 just for directing someone to this information without having to explain anything? And there are absolutely no limits to how much you can receive. At number 4, write, my choice. That's right. You choose your receiving options, $500, $1,000, or $2,000, or any combination. Remember, any place is a great place to start, and your best choice is to get started today. Finally, at number 5, write the words systems and support, because without these, none of this would work. You see, you're not alone here. We want to help you do well, and our daily live support calls are second to none, providing all the training and motivational support you need in order to achieve your goals. Now, I need to level with you because the truth is nothing will happen until you take action. I don't know what you will receive this week, this month, this year. You may say yes to this powerful system and then never do anything about it. But as one of our world-class trainers says, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. And I can guarantee you that if you don't take action, your situation will not change. Friend, this works. The fact that you're listening right now is living proof of that. Use us. Use our information calls. Use our state-of-the-art online tools, our daily life support. We want to help you help yourself. And we want you to feel comfortable about getting started and helping others do the same. Today, people mortgage their homes and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars of their life savings on franchises and businesses, only to lose their time freedom as well. This is the better way. Use this system to create multiple streams of cash flow for you and your family, and we'll be right here to explain everything to your guests. Get back to the member who shared this with you and say these 2 powerful words, I'm in. They'll give you the address of our state-of-the-art website and answer any questions you might have. We look forward to welcoming you to the team. Until then, I wish you and yours all the best. Bye for now.